Y'all, we are live and I am here to talk about the parenting teas. I want to give you 3 tips on unlocking success. I woke up with these in my brain. Knew I was gonna want to go live, and I was prepared to go live and share this with you. So, good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this or catching the replay. I'm going to jump right in and ping a friend. Ping a friend who's a parent, someone who um, is busy, who is an entrepreneur, educator, a homeschool parent, who is high achieving in their career, an executive who needs quick, simple tips that are going to transform their school parenting. And what is school parenting? It's parenting that doesn't end when you send your children to school. Being engaged, participating at the school, knowing what's going on with their grades, with their levels, with their understanding, with their confidence. That is school parenting. So make sure you share this live with a friend, and I'll jump right in. The first T. Are you ready for it? Oh, before I jump in, this month, so we're still in the month of September, I am holding parent discovery calls. And these are really parent success calls. It's an opportunity for you to get on a call with me. I have 14 years of classroom experience and experience in education and experience in leading and developing teachers. And I want to talk with you. I want you to leave very clear on your definition and vision for success for you and your children. I want you to have one actionable step that you can take after we log off of the Zoom call. And I also want you to build your confidence so that you can access the resources your child needs to be successful in school and in life. So, the parent discovery call, all you have to do is drop a success in the chat, and I will make sure to get you that link. Now, let's jump in. Why is it important to unlock success? Because parents, you have the keys, you have the tools. Contrary to popular belief, it's not the school, it's not the teacher, it's not the system, it is you. You know your children best, you know what's best for them, and you have the key to unlocking success for them. So the first T is, y'all ready for it? The first T is tone. Believe it or not, communication is extended to the way we say what we're saying. So tone, and I'm going to give you a definition of tone. You might be thinking tone don't matter. I said what I said, but tone is the accent or pitch of the voice, especially when used to express an emotion or a change in meaning. Spoken in a sharp tone, the style or manner of expression. The way that you express what you express does make a difference to your children. So I can say, Josiah, go clean your room. Or I can say, Josiah, go clean your room. Same words, different tone, and I guarantee a different response. So, as we are thinking about the ways we want our children to behave or perform or understand or succeed, we want to manage and think about our tone. And the thing we can do is separate what we're saying from how we're saying it to identify the emotion behind what we're saying. And if you've ever seen an emotion wheel, the core emotions are things like anger, sadness, or fear. But underneath that emotion wheel, let me pull one up, um, it are secondary emotions. So I'm going to take anger, for instance, because I'm not saying parents are angry. I'm just saying I'm going to use that as an example for the parents. You can relate to it. So in this emotional wheel, anger, I wish I could share my screen. This is why y'all got to get into the webinars and the workshops and definitely register for the Parent Summit, where there is going to be a screen. There is going to be 7 experts walking you through what they know best, everything from early childhood to special education to bully awareness and prevention to nutrition to school parenting to homeschool, all of it. Check my page for the flyer. And if you are interested, just comment summit and I'll get you that link. So behind Anger, the feelings are feelings of being let down, humiliated, bitter, mad, aggressive, um, frustrated, distant or critical. Behind those emotions are betrayal, being resentful, disrespected, ridiculed, indignant, violated, furious, jealous, provoked, hostile, infuriated. Infuriated twice? Oh, furious. Annoyed, withdrawn, numb, skeptical, dismissive. So when you're angry, what is behind that feeling? Maybe as a parent, you're angry that your child brought home an incomplete assignment when you sat down and you sacrificed time and you worked on that assignment with them for 75% of the time, and 25% of the time you said, okay, the last 25% you got on your own. Can you handle this? And you trusted them and you were let down. So your anger really is that you feel resentful about the time that you spent. You feel disrespected. You feel betrayed. There's feelings behind the tone. And as parents, as adults, as mature individuals in this parent child relationship, we get to work through how we're feeling, and then we can communicate with our children. I'm going to give you an example, and you may laugh at this example, but we're potty training. And the other day, I decided, you know what, we're going to pop into this cute little cafe. It has a play area for kids, and Josiah and I are going to spend some quality time and we're going to play. I had this whole expectation in my mind, this whole, thing in my mind. Picking him up from school, I usually take him right to the restroom. I didn't, right? I did not take him because I'm like, I don't want the fussing and the screaming or whatever. We'll go to the restroom when we get to the place. It was a 15-minute drive. I'll give it 20 minutes. It was 15 minutes. It was a 15-minute drive from school to the cafe. 15 minutes. Guess what happened? He had an accident. Guess how I felt? I felt enraged. All I wanted to do was spend time with my son. All I wanted to do was be out with this at this cafe. All I wanted, it was me, me, me. It was very, very me focused. It was very me focused. And so as I looked behind, okay, why am I so upset? Like I am, ah, the feeling behind it really wasn't anger. It was more so, as I look at this wheel, well, I'll let you know what I was thinking. So I went through the process. Why am I so upset? And it changes where we can go and how often. It changes our routine and the schedule and the way that I'm used to doing things. This is feeling like, an interruption and an annoyance. You know what? I took all that rage, all that anger. I came home and I cleaned my house. We had quality time. We got a book out. We sat down and chilled. It was a nice low key evening. I still got quality time. I still had peace. I had everything that I needed. It just wasn't where or as I expected. And so, what I took from that incident, what I took from that situation is that it's very important for me to get to the root of my tone so that I can address it and not be dumping out, spilling out, pushing out on my son. Can anybody else relate? So maybe it's around grades. Maybe it's around behavior at school. Maybe it's around saying, I said this for 14 times. Maybe it's the frustration of having to repeat yourself, which makes you feel like you are not respected, like you're not the authority figure when you know you are. So getting to the root of why we're using a tone can help us adjust our tone. So now it's like, all right, Josiah, we had an accident. Let's go get change. I mean, it's still the same process. The tone doesn't change what needs to happen. Um, okay, you got a low grade. We're going to have to take away some of the time that you're using on devices, or we're going to have to, cut back the hours that you're spending at practice, or whatever it is. There could be a consequence, but the tone doesn't have to be full of anger or bitterness or disgust, or those emotions are okay to have, and it's okay for us to process through those so that we can just speak to the hearts of our children. All right. So I'm talking about maintaining, building a healthy relationship with these three T's, because really that relationship is how you unlock success in learning. All right, was that good? That was good. All right. All right, all right. I have a parent who was like, you know what, I have to take a step back, and where I wanted to, she reached out to me last week, where I wanted to punish, like where I wanted to, really come down hard because I felt disrespected for my daughter. I realized that I had an opportunity to model grace, respect, and understanding. And so I gave the natural consequence was the missed opportunity. But I didn't put nothing on it. I didn't sprinkle nothing extra on it. I didn't get angry. I didn't use my tone as a weapon. Um, we just moved on. And she said, I am learning to parent differently. And isn't that beautiful that we can learn to do what has been done for, over the ages of time? Like we can learn to do it differently because guess what? It's a different time. It's a different world. Our children are different. What they need is different, and they're all unique. And so, how you may parent one child, still with love and respect and you know um, fair treatment, may look different for another child. It may look different for another child. If you can relate, just type of me. I can relate. It's me. I have one child right now, but the way that I parent him at one is different than two, which is different than three, which is actually different than 3.1. So I'm evolving as I'm parenting. The second T I want to talk to you about is time. Time, time. The time that we spend with our children is so important. They will not necessarily remember everything that we say, they won't even remember everything that we do, but they will remember the time that we spent with them and how that made them feel. Anyone relate to time? I still remember doing 80s aerobic videos with my dad. He was in the military. He was getting ready for PT tests and staying in shape, and he would let me spend time with him. In fact, I gotta ask him. I think he enjoyed it too. I would do the jumping jacks. I would do the push ups. Guess what? Now, as an adult, I still enjoy working out. I still enjoy physical fitness. I still do these things regularly. He instilled something, and it wasn't him sitting down every day saying, make sure you take care of your body, make sure you work out. It was him actually engaging me in what he was doing and spending and investing that time. Something I loved doing with my mom in middle school when we moved to Germany. My dad was in the military, and so we went from Missouri to Germany. We had the whole summer together. We had our shows that we would watch. We had a little sequence of things. We would make homemade French fries, dip them in mayonnaise. If you ever been to Europe, specifically Germany, you know what I'm talking about. We would go out and explore the city. We might catch the train downtown off of on the economy, I think it's called, and see and spin, see and spin, explore and spin, and enjoy hearing the languages, seeing the people, visiting and exploring. It was amazing. You think I don't still remember that? How that made me feel important, how that made me feel like me and my mom got a routine. We got a special connection. We enjoyed and spent time together. My eyes are watering. That was amazing. It was amazing. On the flip side of that, I remember homework time. Baby, baby. I remember homework time being time that I was like, I need to get my classwork done. Homework time is not necessarily enjoyable. I don't know what it was about the homework time. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. If mom was like, I done worked and I need you to be on board and learn this math. I don't know if the teacher wasn't hitting during class, wasn't teaching. I don't know what it was. But I remember those moments and I remember the time. And I also remember my mom invested time. So even though homework time wasn't always a joy, she invested the time and sat down with me and worked to build my comprehension, my understanding of what I was bringing home. I remember the school projects. I remember even my sister. So some of you are like, I'm not a parent. Like, I'm just an auntie. I'm a cousin. My sister, who would travel from Columbia, Missouri. So she would drive 2 hours to help me get ready for my dances. She was a beautician. She would help me get my hair done, help me. I don't think I wore any makeup ever. Isn't that interesting? Our high school and middle school students are wearing makeup. I don't remember makeup ever until I was an adult, really. But she would come and she would help me. Time invested, time spent. Do you know how that made me feel? That made me feel like I had a village of support, a community of support, people who loved me, people who championed me, wanted me to be successful. That made a difference. So while we are focused on success, keyword success, not just full success, not just success in life, but I know that you want your children to have healthy relationships, build strong, meaningful connections with God, with themselves, and with others. I know that you want them to be financially secure, right? You want them to have good decision making skills where they can manage their money, their resources, their time, their energy, and those things come from these three T's. The first being tone. Like, you want it for them, but are you scared that they won't access it? Is that why you're angry? Are you afraid that they'll miss the mark? Is that why you are putting the pressure on? Can you take a step back and realize, if I'm doing my best and they're doing their best and I'm building a relationship with them and they trust me and there is an understanding of what the goal is, we will get there. We will make it. And I'm tapping into Cassandra and I'm booking a discovery call and I'm joining the Parent Plus community and I'm coming to the summit. So everything I have is already in place. And so that changes my tone. Are you spending time? Are you getting away from a device to spend time? I have put in place this new unspoken rule. When I pick up Josiah and when I'm with him, my phone time is very limited. So audio notes, text messages, scrolling is very, very limited. So I have all day to do all the things that I need to do. And for the 5 hours that we have in the evening, is it five, 6, 7, however many hours? The hours that we have in the evening, I prioritize time with him. And this is something I've done gradually, but this is now a non-negotiable. It's just what it is. In the winter months, if you are contacting me after 4 p.m., after 3 p.m., you may or may not get me. You might want to book a discovery call. That's how you'll get me. You might want to be outside with me with my parents' nights out in Kansas City, Missouri. That's how you'll be. I mean, like, I'm being very strategic about time because I have to honor time that I spend for myself, waking up early, um, time with God, time to connect with others throughout the day, weekends, evenings, as I can. But time and connection with my son while he's this age, while he is um, under my roof, like while he's in my home, while he's in my presence, it's so, so valuable. So prioritizing your, adjusting your tone, prioritizing time, and here's the last one. And the last one, I want you just to think about knowing who your child is. And if you're like, I'm not really sure what they're interested in or what they're into, that time is going to be important. Do what they want to do, go where they want to go, and observe, participate, engage, but observe. Oh, my child is really like the jokester of the group. Like, she's really funny. Or my child is really quiet and observant, kind of like me. Or they're so different than me. I would have never tried that at this age. And so being able to know they're bold, they're daring. Like, it is important to know who your child is. So we talked about tone, we talked about time, and I want to talk about talent. What does that have to do with your child? Your child is uniquely designed and created just like you. And so they are talented, they are gifted, they are purposed to do something while they're here on the earth. And it's not just to be your son or daughter, it's not just to help you grow and develop as a human being. They are here to contribute something to the world. And in the first 3 years of their life, it's really amazing to view, to observe, and to experience how they change, how they develop, where their interests lie. But for their lifetime, our role as a parent is to give them encouragement and exposure and to really tap into where are their talents, because it's more than one. I already know. my son is 3, that he is a gifted drummer slash museum, because it's musician. I said museum, musician, because it's not just drumming. But I know them drums, like he is professional. So he's a gifted and talented musician. He is definitely a jokester. Okay. He loves deep. He can build relationships quickly, just like his mama. Make people feel important, make people feel special, make people feel happy. He's a loving, loving child. And I know that because I know those things. I expose him to opportunities where he can get out and explore. We travel, get out and meet new people, get out and make sure that we keep connection with our family, with our friends. I know that's important. I know that has to do with what he's gifted and talented to do. That he's in drum lessons. So we went to drum lessons a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "This is cool." You know, finally he's of age that we can get him in. And they said he's holding the sticks right, and he's really talented. And I'm like, "Yeah, he's been doing that since he was born." So I know that that's the area to encourage him, develop his talent. I know that he loves playing in the water. He does water aerobics, water therapy. And so I know that, all right, swim lessons are next. We going to the beach, right? So what is your child gifted and talented in? What are they showing interest in? What do you want to explore with them? What do you want to encourage them in? If you are thinking, I have no clue, Cassandra, I don't know, I'm too busy to, we got to go back to time, tone, time, talent. So the time piece is so important. And if you are struggling to make the time to build a healthy and wholesome relationship with your child, I want to talk to you. I talked with a parent this weekend about just creating 15 more minutes of time to herself to enhance the many minutes. She spends lots of time with her kids. So the lots of time, to make it even more quality, you need more time to yourself. You need more sleep. So we we sat in a discovery call and we talked about um, all of the ways to make the time buckets more quality, but also, sis, you need more sleep. I have been consistently in the bed around 8 o'clock every night for the past week and a half. Soon it'll be 2 weeks. And that means that I have much more energy, much more joy. I can manage my emotions and my tone even more as a parent throughout the day. It just is what it is. It also means that my body naturally wakes me up around the time that I want to wake up anyway. And so my body is doing what I'm needing it to do because I'm giving it the fuel that it needs. We're going to talk more about this on Friday when we talk to Mocha, um, who will talk to us about health and wellness, and she'll be at the summit. So if you have not registered, register for the summit. Okay? Register for that summit. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of health and wellness, I'm like in love with this water. All right. My lip liner is bleeding into my lip line. Oops, sorry. All right, so we talked about the 3 T's to success. The first being watch your tone. We got to manage our tone with our kids. It's something I'm working on in a very as a person who's very expressive, and you can tell. I'm about to change my page just now. You can tell exactly how I feel when I feel it. Like I do not. I don't think. I mean, we all maybe fake an emotion, but I don't really think I do. I think you can tell when I'm quiet. It's because uh, I mean, I could be quiet just to be quiet, but usually I'm being quiet to be like, all right, fix your face, watch your face, watch your face, fix your face. So toned is something that we all can work on, processing through what is the emotion behind how, how am I feeling, and how do I make sure that that feeling is not spewed out of my mouth. Like I could be saying the right thing, but the way that I say it is very important. The way you say what you say is very important. Can you smile while you're saying what you're saying? If not, maybe you just check your emotion. Let's just see. Is it on point? The second is spending time. I would even say this is the most important. The time that you spend is so valuably important. Time spent, time invested, time that you will, people like to say never get back. And I don't want to say that as like in scarcity. I'm out of time. Let me, it's just, this is so precious. This moment will never exist again. This moment I'm going to want to be as present as possible and tap in as much as possible. And that's why usually devices are not welcome, because a device doesn't allow me to really be present in the moment, using and valuing the time. And then third is talent. Here's the other thing about talent. You're talented, mom. You're talented, dad. Like, you're not a busy professional parent for no reason. You got gifts and talents. So bring your children into your world as well. You ever heard of take your child to school day, or what's it? Take your child to work. Take your child to school every day. Bring your child to work day. I think there is a way that we can bring them into the world of, if it's work that we love, if it's vacations that we like, travel that we love. Josiah knows I love to be loud. Okay, I love a rooftop. I love a happy hour. I love food. I love music. I love dancing. I love laughing. I love being around good people. I love taking walks and being out in nature. I brought him into my world, especially young, because guess what? He can't be nowhere else. You can't walk yet. You can't go nowhere. And so now that's become a part of some of our quality time spent is we'll take a walk around the neighborhood. We'll go to a park. I'll bring um I'll bring like a little blanket and we might do some stretches at the park, pop some grapes. You know what I'm saying? We'll have us a little enjoyable time at the playground at the park. And that's because I understand tone, time, talent. And I want you to as well. So I want you to prioritize one of the T's today. Either you are going to be very, very aware of your tone, very, very well aware of being present in the moment and spending quality time, or maybe you're going to be very observant and identifying what is my child's talent? Like, what do they love to do? What do they love to do? And how can I make that a habit? How can I elevate that? How can I encourage them in that? How can I expose them to more opportunities to do the thing that they love to do and they're really good at? And not only expose and make them aware, but encourage them. Encourage them. Like, you're an excellent drummer. Just so you know, you're a fabulous drummer. Oh my gosh. Like, when he plays, I'm like, hey, 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 Monique. Monique said tone. Yes. Try to be mindful of my tone. But today will be the focus. Yes, today focus. Today focus on tone. That's my focus for today. It's tone. Okay? That's my focus. It's my focus with me. The tone, sometimes the tone that we give and deliver to our children is the same tone that we're using for ourselves. And it's why we feel guilty, tired, frustrated, like a failure. Like, some of the tone, we can turn that back and say, you know what? I'm going to give myself grace and space. I'm going to encourage myself. I'm going to use kind words toward myself. I'm going to experience joy within myself. I'm going to express joy within myself. So I'm with you, Monique. That's a good one. And anybody else want to drop? What you working on? Which T? Which T are you working on today? A. Which T are you working on? A. Which T are you working on today? Which T are you working on? A. We got time, we got tone, we have talent. All right. I'm going to meet you all. Remember, I'll be live on Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I want you to think today, how can I unlock success for my child by focusing on one of these three T's? I guarantee results. Okay. All right. Okay. We got time. Yes, making that time quality. And I stand beside 5 to 15 minutes. Like, set a timer, 5 to 15 minute increments. Because the truth of the matter is, we went to the Children's Museum in Omaha, Nebraska. And I know that sounds very random, but we got family friends out there. So we were in Omaha, and I decided, you know what, before we get back on the road, let's go to the Children's Museum. So Josiah's playing, I'm letting him play, and I'm an active parent, so I'm like engaged and involved in some stuff he's doing independently. And we were in the dramatic play area where they had the food and the kitchenette and all of that. And Josiah's, making pizza, putting the mushrooms and the olives. And I'm like, look at my kid. And another parent comes and sits down, and Josiah's interacting with that parent. And I'm kind of like standing, beside them, but not really. He's doing his thing. So I'm like, you got it. And Josiah was like, Mom, can you? He probably said go away, honestly, because, vocabulary. Scoot back, go away, leave me alone. It was something like that. But what he was saying is like, I got this. And I knew what he was saying because he was having a great time interacting. And I was kind of like close enough to interact, but also close enough to just scoot back and give them some space. I could still see and everything. I didn't. I said no. I'm gonna stay here because I'm observing you or watching you. But I understood the sentiment that it don't take all that time that we think it takes. 5, 10, 15 minutes of quality time in increments, like blocks of time with our children. We play with them. We are engaged. We're present. We let them do their thing. Independent play is very important. We do what we need to do. We come back and repeat. All right, 5, 10, 15 minutes. Trust me, trust me, trust me. If you look at your day is a series of I'm here, I'm back, I'm here, I'm back, I'm here, I'm back. And that, believe it or not, builds healthy attachment, healthy relationship, an understanding that we're together even when we're apart. I'm still with you, trust, security, interdependence, independence, like all of those things, good morning, are so valuably important to understand and to recognize that, okay, I do have enough time. I'm just thinking I got to sit down for 30 minutes and complete this entire assignment at the kitchen table with my child breathing down their neck. And really, I can get in here for 5 minutes, leave them for 10 minutes, come back for another 10, leave them for 5, and finish up in the last 15. Like there's a way to do it. And I don't know exactly what the way is for you, but I know that you could test it out and you can try it out. So we got somebody who has tone. We're working on tone. We're working on time. And who is observing their child's talent today? Who's just going to be in observation, like curious? That's a good word. To be curious about what their child is extraordinary at, where they can engage, where they can encourage, where they can explore that talent with their child. Anybody picking talent for today? Just want to observe, like you just want to marvel, you just want to be amazed at your little one. If you're not picking it today, I challenge you to pick that tomorrow because there's so many things that we have on our agenda for our child. We need to do this, that we're not often observing, like just being mesmerized. Like you ever just look at your kids like, oh my gosh, you really know how to do, like you're an awesome soccer player. Like you're fantastic on that video game. I didn't know what you was over here screaming about. Like you're really good. Wow, you're an amazing reader. You want to go to the library and get some more books? And I say library because them books is free. Okay, it doesn't always require money. All right, I could go on and on and on. Love that you all hopped on the live. Share this with a parent friend who's busy, who's overwhelmed, who's exhausted, who's tired, who's stressed, who needs to get out of survival mode and start thriving. And if you have that already, make sure that you get your discovery call this month. Okay, we're switching things up for the month of October. So this month, let's hop on a call. Let's talk for 15 minutes so that you can get a clear vision and you can walk away with your tangible next steps to access resources for your child so they can be successful in school and successful in life. And then while you're at it, make sure that you're at the Parent Summit and you come back to this page on Friday at 12 Central Standard Time. I'm talking to Mocha, who is our health and wellness speaker for the summit, and it's going to be good. I gotta drink my water before then because Mocha is going to ask me questions. She's going to put me on the spot. She's a real one. You need accountability, that girl will ask you the questions that make you accountable. All right. We will talk later. And I hope you guys have